the advantages of getting counted, or the reasons as to why a country carries out a census, is basically to plan for the economy. I just want to seek, what is your opinion on this census issue?
Census is a very important element of any country's planning. In fact, a very fundamental element of any country's planning, and therefore its importance cannot be, emphasized enough. It's a pity that our country does not take planning as anything serious. That is why even this census that we are now engaged in is 2 years late. That is why even the way it is organized leaves a lot to be desired. In fact, yesterday when the census team came to my house to enumerate our people there, one of the local guides, was very furious in the way they have been treated in the exercise, and he raised very many pertinent issues that are not being looked at or managed well in this exercise. So there is, just like all the other exercises we have seen, which are extremely important, like the national ID exercise, an extremely important exercise which has been vulgarized, carried out without even an enabling law, carried out by all kinds of outfits that are dubious. So even this very important exercise, unfortunately, is not treated by the regime as an important thing. Not surprising at all, because even other areas of planning are never treated as anything important. We have an annual plan which is contained in a budget. Nobody follows that budget at all. It is observed in total disregard. So I am not, expectant that the census will advance our planning abilities any much. Additionally, the regime is in the habit of faking data, faking figures for expedient purposes, again, to show that some things are performing better than they actually are, or to rig in terms of development and policy layout, because the outcome of census is the one which should guide where resources should go, how people should be represented, and so on and so forth. And these are the kinds of things that this regime is very well known to manipulate.
So, did you register for the national ID?
No, I haven't. And frankly, I am very, very despondent about the way that exercise has been managed. I have no doubt that it will have to be repeated at some stage or other, because what they are doing is simply nonsensical.
Okay, well, they say that we have passports, and these passports are going to be phased out for those who think that their passports can identify them. Now, if your passport is phased out, then you need a national ID to register for you, another passport. How are you going to maneuver around that?
There is no replacement for a national identity card. I personally, as Minister then in Internal Affairs, initiated the national ID scheme. I wrote a cabinet paper in 1987, took it to cabinet, which was approved. It's a shame that, 25 years later, that's when they are fidgeting with trying to create a national ID card. So there is no doubt, I have no doubt about the fundamental importance of a national ID, and I will have one at some stage, but not in this vulgarized exercise. This country will not remain under a mafia rule forever. There will be decent management of state institutions and processes that are transparent and clear. There will be a law. We are trying even now to introduce a law, private law, in Parliament to regulate the exercise of national ID.